some questions, I will have one caveat. For the respect of the lay people in the room and for time, I would request you keep your questions general, not overly technical, while I would love to go on for hours looking into the mathematical equations, going about gravitational particles. I think everyone here might not find that quite as interesting. Besides, I think I'm missing a chalkboard. Are there any questions I can answer this evening?
I've got one.
I'll go. What do you think about the creation theory?
It's a theory. It's out there. It has been posited very vocally by many. The evidence seems lacking. I'm always open to any theory, but that particular one, I have not seen anything to indicate that there is an intelligent designer behind it. For one thing, that messy kludge of our brains, I feel, could have been dealt with a bit more subtly, a bit more creatively. Instead, we have the messiness that we currently have to deal with.
Almost a question I was going to ask. Does that mean that Carl Sagan is an atheist?
An atheist has proof that there is no God. He is absolutely assured that there is no God. I have not seen that proof. I do not know how you would obtain
How could you
that proof.
live not knowing
Do I think that there is a man with a white beard who is watching every sparrow fall? I have not seen particular evidence of that. I've seen some suggest that God is the sum total of all the physical laws of the universe. If so, perhaps, but that's not someone I particularly find emotionally satisfying saying prayers to.
You were, I think, born in the city, went to school in a big city, and yet you chose to make your life in a rather smaller town. What prompted you to choose a relatively small town in upstate New York to spend your mature and later years?
Harvard wouldn't have me. No, I was speaking, of course, of my time at Cornell, which was a wonderful place to be able to teach, to be able to study, and it was a different way of life. As a big city New York boy, I loved the independence you could have. At the age of 5, I was making my way to the libraries to study, to explore the potentiality of the big city and all of its energy. Indeed, I think the city, in some ways, is a perfect model for the human brain. When our brains are developing, they're not being slotted out. We're not like machines or computers where you're upgrading the memory drive or you're getting a new motherboard. Instead, it grows organically, and a city is the same. You might start with a few thoroughfares here and there, and then they expand. Add a few more roads, perhaps a bridge across the river that was once impassable. Then you add plumbing underneath those major thoroughfares. You add sewer, you add electricity, but it all develops while the city is still living and breathing. And the same can be said for how our brains have developed over time. At no point, they simply stop working, which is why they are the messy kludge in which we find ourselves. And that organic nature of a city appeals to me. But it's not absent in smaller towns. You can see it here as well. You can see that same organic growth, that drive to expand, that ability to seek out wonder and amazement that can be found anywhere. Big cities, small towns, it's all interconnected, and it's all one.